Beyonce. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways, sideways, sideways.
I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Gun. Let's go.
And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Gun.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Hey, Tuesday.
From the shotgun, Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A very solid gain of 27. They'll look to run with Freeman. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
They get it to him running left. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Here's Ryan to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. A hat tip to P.J. Williams there defensively, making sure that one didn't find its target.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Bryant's kick is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So the first points of the night belong to our home team as they're able to take the opening kickoff and at least get 3 points out of it.
Yeah, and that helps the crowd, right? Helps people feel good about why they're there watching this game. They move the ball well on their opening drive.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. From nearby Norcross, Georgia, it's Alvin Kamara. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Foyesade Oluwakan made the tackle there from his safety position.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Now a play fake here on 1st down. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. A very solid gain of 27.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Bucky Hodges hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Saints have taken the early lead. And he's got it up and through. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So out come the Falcons now. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to go draft, but pride's better. And that's caught inside the 30. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 46 yards.
There's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Ryan. Incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. Throwing again, Ryan. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. As his guys are in for 6. And the Falcons are in for 6.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
On play action, they'll throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw here. That one caught by Gibson. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. They'll look to throw here on first down. On target over the middle to Hill. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, he usually gets it done. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Bucky Hodges, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Atlanta now coming out on the field. We have witnessed touchdowns on back-to-back drives. We'll see if the offense can continue this uptick here.
And I know you're looking at me funny. You're wondering when I'm going to get upset watching these guys go up and down field, aren't you?
I wasn't looking at you. I got something in my eye.
That's the excuse that you always use for something like that. Listen, I appreciate good offensive football as much as the next person. When it's played well and is skillful, I'm with it. And right now, this is exciting.
Oh, the defender likes it. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now Kamara. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw, and he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make little moves that get you to jump.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
They'll look to throw here. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a first down. This quarterback now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Deion Jones in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Back to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Bucky Hodges on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play caller, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
54, South. 12.
To throw again, Ryan. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Get up!
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
This will be fielded at the 17. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Hodges. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, a 22. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Over the middle to Smith. And he gets it down to the 32. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to throw now on 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hodges. And they move this all the way down to the 9. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
They'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going for it all. And it'll be intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10.
21, 22.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 9 yards there on what will be the final play of this first half. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This quarterback now 14 out of 17, 82%. And it's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to let this one go deep. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They'll drop to throw. Hard throw, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
We got four down. Let's go. Four down. Check. Gun. Watch the twist.
On second down, Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. And it's 3rd down.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here's Ryan. He sets to fire deep. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter if it's man or zone. deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
He'll air it out deep for Thomas. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a first down. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Gibson. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Saints on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Simpson rolls it in over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Ryan now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Ryan will throw again. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Gun.
To throw again is Ryan. Wide open receiver complete. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
21. Wait. Gun.
This is Freeman on first and 10. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th. They'll run here with Freeman. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback. Because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
Gun!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Back to throw here. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On play action, they'll throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. After the interception, here's Ryan. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Second and 10 now. Ryan. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach, and incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play on 3rd down for the Falcons. 58 yards. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Trey Hendrickson able to drop him for a loss of 4. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
And Bryant's kick is good. And that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that were nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyler Davison with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
20.
Now Ryan. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Gosh, given the time and the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so. But it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
Let's go.
Back to throw. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. Oh, wide open. Complete. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Falcons have taken the lead here in the 4th. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Grady Jarrett in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. The Saints on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 17. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Ryan wants to throw it. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. And the Saints signal for another timeout, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. The Falcons will go for it. It's Ryan. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And that'll bring up 2nd down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout.
Get up! 11. Hey, back 25. Gun.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. Brought down around the 16 or 17, showing some tough running there.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles, and really the difference, obviously, was that 4th quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback, because we've been in games before. We've done games where you just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for the Falcons, the win is a good one for morale, but little else as they move to 3 and 8. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Minnesota Vikings come to town. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5 and 6. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.